Hi everyone, I'm Laura Gale Locke. On this edition of Local Loop, we're going to tell you all about the Prairie Fire Marathon, which is coming up on October 14th. And joining me now are two special guests. Down at the end, we have Wichita City Council member Pete Meitzner, who also serves on the Prairie Fire Committee. And seated next to me is Bob Hanson, who is the president and CEO of the Greater Wichita Area Sports Commission, which also happens to own the Prairie Fire Marathon. Thank you both for being here.
Thanks, Laura Gale.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Glad to have you guys. First, why don't you just start off by telling us a little bit about the race, or races, I should say.
Well, you know, the Sports Commission actually took on the Prairie Fire Marathon 3 years ago. Clark Enns had the Prairie Fire Marathon, had run it for 30 years, operated it, directed it, whatever you may call it, and he came to me and wanted to know if we'd be interested in taking on the Prairie Fire Marathon. So we did at that point in time, and I told him I wanted him to direct it, and he said he didn't want to direct it. He wanted to time it, so he is our timer. And I took on I had hardly only been to one marathon before in my life. I'd helped him move the marathon from Wichita down to Derby, and with a run back. But runners kind of got tired of that long stretch of road. They like to run, in the city. So that was kind of some of the things we did, and adopted some ideas from other communities, and listened to runners and what they would like to see. They wanted to see a run downtown. They wanted to see a run through the neighborhoods and things like that. And really, Wichitans they've really adapted to it, and really, and they've really endorsed it. It's been really, really good.
Maybe you guys could tell us a little bit more about the route.
Well, it's, we start in front of the Hyatt between the Sports Hall of Fame, the boathouse, and we run across Maple, and then we run up to Douglas, and then run east Douglas to Clifton. From Clifton, we run around in the College Hill area, College Hill Park, and end up in Eastboro. And through Eastboro, then we come out on Rock Road, run all the way to Rock Road, and then across on 11th Street to Edgemore, and then we go south on Edgemore back to Douglas, and through College Hill again, and back Douglas, and then all the way through Riverside Park. And one of the things that I had to kind of fight for and everything, but I think people really appreciate it, is we've been able to, we run across Keeper of the Plains Bridge. People love that. It's we take a picture of every person that runs across the bridge, so everyone happens to have a picture with them. They can have a picture of them running across the bridge with the Keeper of the Plains in the background.
Be a really cool photo.
Yep.
Councilmember, I understand you guys are encouraging people who live along the route to get out and support.
Yes, it's an exciting route, especially running, like Bob said, running a main street like Douglas, which is our postcard street, for a long way, and then going into historic neighborhoods like College Hill and others neighborhoods. And it does allow, I believe, Bob, we put every resident on notice. They're going to come by, and I've run a few marathons, not a lot, but I ran in Dallas at the White Rock Marathon before, and they had, when citizens get involved at mile markers and bands or water or balloons and kids, and it's a chance for the citizens to get involved in viewing it. It's because it's kind of fun, and it makes it really fun for the runners. And I think the course that I liked the course before when we came from Derby through McConnell was incredibly entertaining for historic purposes. But like Bob says, this one takes it into to really a Wichita environment. It's really good.
Well, what kind of ruined the one was when we could run on base, and then 9/11. We ran through a B-1B hangar to start with,
right?
And then all of a sudden you couldn't go on base anymore, and so you just kind of run by and wave, as you go by, and that was I think the distance just running all the way up Derby here out on the highway, kind of to say it's different than running in College Hill or Eastboro, and fans out there, and we have bands. We have 12 bands now on the course, and people, all kinds of bands that come and listen to people. We have a band at the finish line, and people really enjoyed that. And it was amazing. We had to go talk to churches and neighborhood associations, and they've endorsed it. Now I have churches fighting over water stations now. They want to be here, they want to be there, and give out water for them. So it's been really good. One of the things we need to do, we need to try and engage the Riverside Park area a little bit more. I mean, they have a lot of races in that area, so it's not anything new to them. And we don't have as many runners go through because just a marathon really runs through Riverside Park. So But we're working on that, and it's become very, very popular.
Pete, how much does that help to have people out there cheering you on? Does it make a big difference for the runners?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's that way you're not you don't get bored at all. I mean, it's looking forward to things, and little kids, and it's a variety. It's fun. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Now, which race are you running this year?
Well,
put you on the spot there.
For sure, I'm
sign up for the marathon. We can always slide you down, Pete. Tell everybody you're running the marathon right now. We can slide you down to the youth run if you want to, or the 5K or whatever you got.
For sure, the mayor's 5K, which actually, and maybe the half, but I've had, as runners know, and Clark Enns is the best at it. Sometimes your body, you got to kind of pay attention to that a little bit. But the 5K is great course, because it really, it's a 3.1 mile course. And I tell you what, it starts right there where the marathon starts, and it takes you on the river, right downtown, the Keeper, the river. I mean, it is a great 3-mile route of that one. That course there by itself is not boring at all, and it's a great finish line. And it got you got all the tents and the activities afterwards are right there. It's just a great run there too.
Lord Gale, if I may just really quickly tell a story. Last year, a local runner here, Rebecca Stevens, called me and wanted to know if she could have 50, the number 50 in the race, because she was going to run her 50th on her 50th birthday. 10/9 was her birthday last year, and she was going to run her 100th marathon on her 50th birthday.
Oh my goodness!
No, wait, I'm not even done. So I said, my goodness, you need to come and talk and let our sponsors know about this. She said, I can't speak, but you could answer your question. So I asked her, when did you run your first marathon? She ran it when she was 43. And she got sick, and she got hurt, and she swore she would never run another marathon. And she didn't until she was 47. And between 47 and 50, she ran 98 marathons. And last summer, she was running 2 a weekend so she could get to 100. She would run 1 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. And some people say you can only run 1 or 2 marathons a year. That is just really hard on your body. She was running 2 a weekend. And she did her 100th here, did very well. And last May, when we had her, I think it was April 30th, we had the Johnston's half marathon. She called me and said that she hadn't got in yet. Could she get in? I saw her over there, and she says, "Oh, I'm a little tired." She says, "I got jet lag." She says, "I ran Paris a week ago, and then I run London this week, and now I'm running the half marathon." She says, "I run in 3 continents in 2 different weeks." So it's pretty amazing what people can do,
Yeah, that blows your mind. I've never heard of anybody doing that many marathons.
Well, now I have other people, just to give you another, I have people, the guy did this 2 years ago, he called me at 67. Long story short, he said he couldn't go through the expo, but I said, well, he said he's going to be in Wichita. I said, well, you can certainly go through the way, so I'm going to be in Cassidy. And he said, but I won't be able to pick up my packet. And I said, well, if you're in Wichita, he said, no, I'm going to be in Cassidy. He says, I'm going to run the Kansas Ultra, which is 100 miles on Saturday. And he said, the way I got it figured, I'll get done about 4 or 4:30 in the morning. He says, and then I'm going to drive to Wichita and sleep in my car till 7, and then I'm going to run the marathon. And I said, I'll bring your packet to your car. And I did. I mean, he did 126 miles there in 24 hours. So it's amazing. And there's other people are going to do that this year. Mm-hmm. Local people here are going to do that.
So what's the age ranges of the people who are going to participate?
I think the youngest I have right now is 4 in the youth marathon, 4 or 5 in the youth marathon. I think 86 is the oldest that I have that's running maybe the half.
It's incredible.
It's unbelievable what people can do when they put their minds to it and have a passion for it. And runners are, I call them idiots, or they're crazy, or whatever. The things that they can do, but they have to have great passion. They have great passion for it. Some of them, if they don't go out and run 7 miles or 10 miles on a day, they get really bad withdrawals. I mean, they got to go out and run. And I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. We're getting the Gators for the course from Kansas Golf and Turf, and he said his wife Amy said I'm going to run out and run 10 miles, just like if he said he was going to walk across the street. At 10 is nothing, and that's the way some people do. I mean, they just and they're so appreciative. All the runners are very appreciative of the volunteers. I go to wrestling tournaments and things like that, and the mothers and dads are mad because their kid got beat, or you don't see that on the marathon course or whatever. The people are very, very appreciative of the people who are out there watching. The people are running there, and they're very polite to each other too.
How's it going with recruiting volunteers, and do you still have a need for more help?
Yes, we need more volunteers. We need lots of volunteers. We need somewhere between 600 and 700.
How many do you have now?
Probably right now signed up, actually about 100. But a lot of them will come in. You know, we get a lot of them in the last couple of weeks and stuff. People don't do things quickly and ahead of time. They procrastinate a little bit, but then all of a sudden they want to do it. And first two years ago when we first did it, I had no idea. We had a volunteer meeting at the boathouse. I had no idea. We had 180 people show up. I mean, it was unbelievable. I cried. I literally cried that so many people came, and we had to give each one of them their assignment. And when they did, they sat around. All 180 of them sat around. They went through there and got their assignment one by one, and no one left because they had to sit around and wait. It was pretty amazing to see that, and the gratefulness. They all get a T-shirt. We feed them. We have water for them and stuff. And Prairie Fire Coffee brings coffee down. They have free coffee for anybody who wants coffee. I mean, we have some wonderful sponsors. Starting with Via Christi, our title sponsor, and Pizza Hut and Taco Bell, and the Fugate Enterprises. They all are very good. Kansas Surgery and Recovery, some of the bigger ones that have really, really stepped up. But I'm sorry I can't announce them all. I think we have about 32 or 34 sponsors now. So,
well, we're on the subject. Maybe you could talk a little bit about the city's contributions and how the city's helping out.
Well, yeah, the city is embracing to. We've done some financial support for it and some in-kind services with the usage of Century 2 and some other things that we can do. Because there's some afterwards. There's a nice. Or even during the day, there's a nice
Runner's Village.
Runner's Village. I'm sorry, that's what
we
it was.
have music and entertainment,
and that was really good. I went through that last year. I was quite surprised. It's not. It's more than if you're a runner, you like it because there's a lot of things specific for running and for health and things like that. So.
And where will that be? The Runner's Village?
It's right where we start, start and finish line. We have a new start and finish line. We have a new arch that's going to be spectacular. It's 38 feet wide, 15 feet high, and it's going to be spectacular.
And tell everybody where it's located?
That's right between the boathouse and the Hyatt, right there on Wichita Street. Mm-hmm. And Wichita Street.
And we've done it. You've done a nice job. That it's starting to grow. You always hear of the Boston, New York, but we are starting to get numbers, and we're getting representation from.
Here's the one of the things I would like to say when we talk about the city helping. There's a great value to this race, in that we have runners from 40 states. I mean, New Hampshire. I just got one from. I got kind of excited with Amy Adams from Massachusetts. I said, I wonder if it could be the movie star. And she's the same ages, but they have different birthdays. So we just checked to see that. But one of the things that we have them from 40 states, but I looked the other day, and that we have them from 460 different communities. Right. So you have people coming to Wichita from 460 different communities. I think that is a huge bonus. There aren't very many events, I think, could say that could bring people from that many different locales.
Yeah, it's definitely a testament to what you guys are doing. How much have you seen the numbers already increase over last year?
Right now, we're running about 900 ahead of where we were. The first year, we had 3,300 runners. Last year, we had 3,600 runners. We had our marathon drop down a little bit. I think, the first year, it was an inaugural marathon, so I think you had a little more interest in that. People want to run. But we're already about 50 runners ahead of the marathon for what we had total last year with a month to go. We're well over 600 runners in the marathon race right now. The others are down, but they're way ahead of where they were last year.
Can people sign up all the way up until race day?
They can sign up online till October 11th, which is 3 days. We stop it online Thursday night at midnight, and then we don't have any sign-ups on Friday unless they'd happen to bring it by the office, and we won't turn any runner down. And then we do have registration on Saturday, and we do that as a convenience to runners. It's a pain in the rear end for us, in that last year we signed 350 runners up on. And do we have T-shirts for them? I mean, do we have medals for them? I mean, how do you get T-shirts on Saturday when they sign up Saturday at 4 o'clock? Do we have enough? So we have to order ahead of time. Those types of things. And it would be so much easier if people set up. But, we could make the deadline a week before. And someday, if it gets too big, then that's what you could do, is make a deadline earlier and make it easier. But we want to be a convenience to the runners, and we do everything we can to make it very, very efficient for them, easy to do. They can actually sign up 3 different ways. They can sign up on our website, they can sign up on active.com, or they can print out a hard copy and send it in. And we download them from 3 different areas. The hard copies we have to type in and then download them, and we put them all in one single file.
Okay, now talk about the new thing you guys are doing this year as people cross through the finish line and how that goes onto social media sites. So.
We are, they do this in the big marathons, and we want to be first class in every way we can do this. And so we've adopted a new program right now. It's through MyLaps. We have bib timing. Everything is bib timing and has been. But we will have MyLaps, and it's called MyLaps Sports Flash is what it's called. Mm-hmm. And a person will sign up for this. Anybody can sign up for it. If you're a runner, your mom and dad and your cousins, whoever can sign up for it. They need to know your name and your bib number. And they sign up for it. And then on the marathon, you will get 5 different text messages. For instance, they will say, Laura Gale started the race at 8 a.m. And then she will get to the 10-mile mark and said, Laura Gale's pace has been such and such at the 10-mile mark.
Good stuff.
And under this race, she should be able to finish in 3:58.4 at this pace. Mm-hmm. And then they will go out on text messaging, email, Facebook, and Twitter. And you will get that you get 5 different ones for the marathon. And then the half marathon will be the start, the midpoint, and the finish. So when anybody finishes goes across the finish line, they can look at their Facebook or get a text. They will get a text message immediately and say, "You ran 2:15.34" or whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's really cool. That way, people can track their friends and family.
Right, and then they will get it on Facebook and on Twitter, and like I say, email too. So those will be the 4 things that it'll be, and then the 5K will get it the start and finish. So we'll know that they started, and then when they finish, they will know their time immediately.
And I understand you guys also have your own Facebook and Twitter.
Yes, we do. We keep trying to update that and do different things on it. And it's we have almost 3,000 friends now on it, and we want to see that grow. But we've continually work on it. We have a young lady who is a runner and one of the best women marathoners in the state, Lacey Hansen. No relation, but she does our social media for us and does a great job.
That's wonderful. Okay, so give me the rundown of the 5 races and talk a little bit about each one.
Well, we have basically the full marathon. It's called the Via Christi Marathon, and it is 26.2 miles, and it will be run on the Pizza Hut course. And then we have the half marathon, and that's the Kansas Surgery and Recovery Marathon, and that will be run on the Taco Bell course. And then we have the 5K, which is a Go Wichita Mayor's 5K Challenge, and that will be running on the Fugate Enterprises course. It's a good way of being able to market different sponsors and things like that and giving different names. And then a year ago, we adopted a youth marathon.